Hello, it's Erica here from Me to You Paper Crafts. I'm so excited about tonight. First of all, our catalog went live on the 7th of January. So now I can finally open the catalog and let you guys see what's inside. I'm sure if you follow lots of people on the internet, you've probably seen all that you need to see, but that's just the way it is. All of us as independent demonstrators, we kind of do our own thing and hope to catch you watching. And if not, other people are watching and it's just one big party. So tonight I want to do this Friends of the Ocean suite of products. It's the colors that attracted me. Fresh spring, no more red and green. It's just beautiful. And I love any ocean themed stamp set. I have quite a few of those I usually hang on to. And then you can coordinate. You can pick out an old stamp set if you happen to like something in there and it'll go with the new stuff, then, it's a bigger party, right? So without further ado, I'm going to point my camera down to my desktop just to show you all the goodies because my face can't show you all the goodies. I can only share my emotions, which is pretty excited tonight. So let's get going. All right, here we go. Here is the catalog. I'm going to zoom. I'm going to pull my camera down a bit closer. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so this is the front of the catalog. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrated, I'd be happy to help you out. Just contact me and I can get you a catalog. It's always nice to have a catalog in person. But if you check a previous post I sent out last week, you will see that there is a link to the online version of the catalog. And it's in a really nice format. So you have the ability to see everything. So this is it. It goes from January to April 2025. And along with this is something called Celebration. And Celebration is another mini catalog. I thought I had it here at the desk and now it's gone walkabouts. But it's a smaller catalog and it includes lots of freebies. So Celebration has been around for a long time. It's pretty famous. Oh, this is my new cuckoo clock. I have no ability to turn it off while I'm crafting because it's up on the wall. It was a present from my hubby. I saw it in a kitchen store and I fell in love with it. And it came in different colors. So I got a red one. There it goes. The little bird has gone back into its little house. It's really, really cute. Anyway, sorry for the digression. Anyway, here's the Celebration catalog. So this has been around for a long time. So it means that during this promotion, January to April, when you spend a minimum of $75 on products, either from this catalog or our annual catalog or anything you see online, you get to pick out a free Celebration item. Now, what's really cool about Celebration is that Stampin' Up! Will often coordinate things to go with what's in other catalogs. So I'm going to show you an example. So let's see, for example, okay, there is a stamp bundle in this catalog, and it's called Terrific Toadstools. Here it is here. Okay, so it's a bundle, it's a stamp set, and it's a punch. Okay, so then what Stampin' Up! Decides to do, well, if you bundle this together, hopefully it comes to $75. Let's see what the bundle cost is here. The bundle cost is $53, so not quite $75. So you need to kind of maybe add some other stuff. So it could be coordinating cardstock, it could be some extra adhesives, it could be some embellishments. And then once you hit a minimum of $75, then you could get a package of this beautiful DSP for free. So that's kind of how it works. So it's really a fun time to spend money and get some stuff for free. That's how it works. All right. So let's go back to this beautiful suite of products. I am in love with it. And I told you it's the colors that are in it. I can find it again. There's some really beautiful products. And oh my gosh, there's this beautiful butterfly suite of products in here. You get so much in the suite. And then if you're into yellows, there's a beautiful two sets of designer series paper. This is vellum. I'm digressing, I know, because I'm so excited to show you this stuff. Okay, here is the Friends of the Ocean. Okay, so over here you can see I'm going to turn on another light here, see if I can get rid. Oops, I have it on already. Get rid of some of those shadows. Here are the card samples, and this is the one we're making tonight. I chose this because it's a bit of a different layout. It's an A2 size card, but it's got some squares on the front, which is kind of fun. Okay, so the suite comes with this beautiful stamp set, nice, big, bold images, and it's a two-step stamp set. So what that means is that you have, let me just scroll in again. We'll zoom in again. Zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so you have what's called an outline image. So see this little crab, that's the outline of the crab. And then you have a filler. So this is the outline stamp, and then this is the filler. Okay, and then they've done a great job in coordinating what they call color buddies. It's telling you, here's the DSP listed down here. They've done a good job in the catalog for this. Let me zoom out again. So this is the double-sided paper. So it's showing you all the colors and the coordinating cardstock here. Okay, so you've got Summer Splash, Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Calypso Coral. Okay, so here's your coordinating cardstock. And you also have cardstock now available that is double-sided with two shades of the same color. I don't have any to show you. I'm sorry, but that is, what's available. So then it's showing you how to stamp it in Melon Mambo, and then you're going to shade it in with Melon Mambo. So that's really, really cool. Okay. The other thing you get if you get the whole suite is you get these beautiful, beautiful embellishments. I'm pretty impressed with these embellishments. They're very shiny, and they have a tiny bit of sparkle in them as well. So they're very, very, very pretty. And then you get also the dies that go with this set. Here are the dies. I love the dies. A nice big lobster and a big crab. So my question to you is, if you were to eat one of these, which would you prefer, lobster or crab? That's a good question for you. Okay, and then you've got a little bit of coral and a little bit of seaweed in here. You've got this really nice scalloped edge that you could do something with as well. And then you've got some tiny little starfish. I've already cut them out. The die cuts 3 starfish at once. Look how sweet those are. So I've cut 2 sets of these to do something on the card tonight. Here's what the seaweed comes out like. This is, I'm going to assume it's coral. Could be some other kind of foliage that we find under the ocean. And it's interesting, the colors. It's orange. We're doing orange. So I cut 2 of these, and they've got these really, really sweet little stitching marks on them. You see the stitching on there? And then you've got, these are the other 2 pieces. You've got a die that cuts out a long one, and you have a die that cuts out a little short one. So I needed 3 of these for the card tonight. So I've gone ahead and done a bit of die cutting ahead of time. Okay, so not only can you just stamp the lobster and the crab and die cut them out, because you've got the dies for those, but the other cool thing that Stampin' Up has been doing for quite a while is they take the DSP, or they create the DSP, and the dies will cut out things on the DSP. So let me show you an example. So on this sheet of DSP, you get 2 sheets of each. Keep that in mind. See, look at this. Okay. So you've got some crab in the pinks and in the oranges, and then you've got the lobsters, and the dies will cut these out. Now, how I do this is I simply take my scissors and this is kind of fun because it's in a bit of a row here. So I just cut up and around to separate these little creatures. Okay, so I cut them up, so I end up with a strip like this. Okay, so I've got this strip. Okay, and then the fun thing is because we've got a die of each, I'm going to do it to show you. Okay, we've got this lobster die. So if I put this lobster on here, and I do use a bit of tape to hold things in place. So I'm just going to put this die on here. I'm just lining it up as best I can. There you go. Put a bit of tape on here. And then I can take the crab and I can, now this is a little bit too close to put the two dies together. So I'm going to move up and I'm going to place it on this one instead. And then I'll be able to run the whole sheet through. So let's put this little crab on here. I like to take my time in lining up my dies. I'm just watching both sides to get their little legs in place. And then I'll put another piece of tape in there. Okay, and I'm going to go and run this through my big shop. Now, if I wanted to, I could just separate this paper here. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to cut in here. Okay, so that I have these two pieces. And I'm going to run both through my machine. So just bear with me for a second. That looks good. Okay, so here we have one crab. Having the paper to die cut, look at that. Having the paper to die cut just gives you some other options. If you're in a bit of a rush and you don't have time to do much stamping, you can just do your die cutting. Now, I always suggest that once you start, when you get this suite of products on your desk, so for example, tomorrow, I will spend time tomorrow and I will die cut this whole sheet so that I have them ready. I don't want to have to take it out every time I want to use these. So I'll cut a bunch out. So look at that. Isn't that fantastic? I love it, love it, love it. Now, I often, depending on your design, I often like to pop these up on a dimensional, and they're a little bit flimsy. So what you could do is, which I've done before, is I die cut another crab and another lobster just in basic white cardstock, and then I glue them on top of each other, and then I have kind of a thicker layer. Especially if you were decorating a gift bag maybe, or a gift box, you want them to be a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so that's the beauty of that, this suite. So tomorrow I will cut out the rest of these. Okay, let me show you the rest of the papers and then we'll get started on our card. I'm going to just put this stuff aside. All right, so we've seen these, so I'll eventually cut both of these sheets out. And the back of this sheet is this geometric design. Now, if you really like the paper and you want to take advantage of having cut out the two sheets of the crab and the lobsters, just buy another pack of paper and then you get to have the reverse. A lot of people do that, you know, they just buy one pack for the one side of paper and then they buy another pack for the other side of paper. Okay, then you've got this adorable piece. This is gorgeous. Look at this. And look at the colors. They're just gorgeous. You've got melon mambo, pumpkin pie. It looks like lemon lime twist, coastal cabana. Am I missing one? And they just coordinate beautifully together. Such a fresh spring look. And the back of this one has a geometric design. So this sheet I'm going to use on my card because it's the background layer on the card. So I'm just going to keep this sheet out. Okay, then you've got So you've got some sheets. This gives you kind of an ocean theme. I don't know if you can see, there's little lines in there, and they're just like waves of the ocean. And then you've got another bit of a pattern on the back of that. So you've got those two sheets. And then this one I love too. It's the seabed. So we've got our kelp, we've got coral, we've got, what are those pokey things called? They're black and they've got pokey things sticking out. Sea anemone, I think. And different kinds of coral and kelp. I don't know my sea flora very well, but look how beautiful that is. And then the back again is another orange kind of geometric pattern. So you might think that this set is kind of girly because of the shading of the colors, but you can always use the backs for masculine cards. Okay, oh, I already showed you that one. And look at this one. This is just a plethora of beautiful little sea stars in all the colors. And then the back is a nice orange stripe. I always love a good stripe. And then this last one is more little crabs. We've got squid, we've got puffer fish, seahorses, crayfish or shrimp. What else is on here? I think I've covered them all. Yeah, lots of different seafood. I love seafood. We had crab for our New Year's dinner this year, and it was oh so delish. Okay, so I'll put these away later. Let's just get to our card. So what do you think of these colors? I think somebody's joined. Christine and Carol is here. Hi, girls. How are you? All right. So this card won't take a lot of time because, like I said, I did some die cutting. Now, what I want to figure out on this card is the size of the papers, okay? So I'm starting with a Melon Mambo. Now, as a demonstrator, we get access to a document that gives us all of the supplies used for all of the samples in the catalog, but they don't give sizes of anything, and we have to figure that out on our own. But as I looked at this, and let me just get the pack of paper with the colors on it. There's two pinks in here. There is Berry Burst. Oh, there's three pinks, I think. Berry Burst Melon Mambo. Oh, okay. So I thought Pop of, what's it called? Petunia Pop is in here, and it's not. This is Melon Mambo. This is Petunia Pop, but they don't use Petunia Pop in here. The other color is Berry Burst. Aha. Okay. So this is Melon Mambo. And then there's Berry Burst. So I was trying to decide which was which. And now I see this picture here, I think must be the Melon Mambo. And Berry Burst is darker. So I need to grab the Berry Burst cardstock. And then you'll see the two colors side by side. Let me just cut a piece. Okay, so here's the two colors side by side. Okay, they're very, very close. Hold on a second, something interesting is going on here. They look like exactly the same color. Did I put them wrong? Maybe I started off with the wrong color to begin with. Oh, there we go. I thought it was Melon Mambo. I'm really confusing myself, and I'm sure I'm confusing you as well, but I thought I brought Melon Mambo to my desk, which is this color, but I had brought this color anyway, Berry Burst. Okay, so now that I've solved that, we're going to use Berry Burst. I'm pretty sure that's the color. So let me pull out my trimmer, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. So it's half a sheet of cardstock. I'm going to score it 4 1/4. Okay. Now I still need my trimmer. Grab my bone folder and give this a nice fold. Okay. Oh, there's another thing that comes in the suite that I didn't show you, and it is an embossing folder. Now we've had Waves embossing folders before. Soft Waves 3D embossing folder. We're going to use this tonight as well. So this is part of the suite. Okay, now we got what was an online, I think this was an online exclusive, something called So Swirly. This is a huge embossing folder, and it's called So Swirly. So you could, if you have this and you don't want to spend the money on another similar folder, you could use this for the ocean too. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to cut a piece of white that's 4 by 4. This is 4 1/4 wide. So I think 4 by 4 is going to be what I want. So let's trim this to 4 by 4, and the DSP will be the same, and we're just going to skew it on our paper. So this is, actually, I'm going to take one of my inside layer pieces. I have a whole bunch of white 4 by 5 1/4 inch pre-cut. So let's cut this to 4 by 4. Okay, let's see how this orients on cards. This landscape card. No, it's too big. Okay, so let's cut it down to, this is where you're experimenting. Let's cut it down to 3 3/3 squared. Let's try that. 3 3/4 squared. Yes, I think that's better. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so then I want to emboss this in this folder. So let me get my machine set up for that. I need plate number 4, which is the embossing plate. Let's run that through. So here you have your, and it's a beautiful, oh my gosh, it's really deep. Feels really good. The reverse side's pretty cool too. Kind of like got cushion edges to it. That's very cool. Okay, so we want that. And then we want, or I want, okay, what am I looking for? Get rid of this paper here. It's in my way. And I don't need that on my desk. Saying I'd like a larger desk. It's pretty large, but it's got a lot of stuff on it. And then I thought, you know, if you had a larger desk, you'd need longer arms, wouldn't you? Okay, help me, ladies. What am I looking for? Oh, the DSP. I might put that away. I think we're using this sheet. Doesn't really matter which background sheet you're using. It's hard to tell on here, but I'm just going to use the one that has the This background, I noticed, if you look carefully, underneath the greeting, so we're going to use a die to cut out this greeting. And this is petal pink. I pulled out petal pink because I think that's what that color is. Then there's a tiny little strip of the designer series paper behind it. So it's the back of this other paper. Okay, so I'm going to cut this to four. Now, you know how I usually cut this? Yeah, it's going to be 4 anyway. 4 by 5 1/4. I always start with that. I get less wastage. So 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, but I'm going to cut that down. So I'm going to cut that down. What was it? 3 3/4, right? So 3 3/4, and then I can use this strip inside a card. So 3 3/4. See, I have this strip, and then I want 3 3/4 this way. Okay. All right. So let's put our pieces together here. It's a shame to cover this, but it's covered nonetheless. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to skew it a little bit. It's just a tiny bit peeking behind it. Okay, now I want to stamp. I need a piece of petal pink. I've already mounted my stamps. So here's a piece of petal pink, and I'm going to stamp. And the dies are, nope, those aren't them. There we go. The die comes from this set here, which is Stylish Shapes dies. And I want this chubby one. Okay. So, and the greeting is stamped in Melon Mambo, or it could be, it's probably Berry Burst. So let me grab my Berry Burst paint pad. Because I picked the wrong color to start with. All right, and now this is the first time using this stamp set, so hopefully this will stamp nicely. There we go. Then I'm going to cut this out. Sometimes I think I should have 2 cutting machines because I'd like to keep the platforms. Do you guys feel that way? I get tired of switching the plates all the time. All right, so we've got our greeting now. So let's just put this over on my magnetic plate. And now we need that tiny little strip. We're going to take it from, actually, we could probably take it from here. Is it wide enough? Nope, it's not wide enough. I need a little strip of this paper to go underneath the greeting. That's kind of a cool little technique, is to highlight your greetings. You could just throw a little strip of DSP underneath it. Right? Okay. All right. Now we can put our card together. I think we have everything ready now. Oh, there's one other thing I noticed. In the background, you have to really look at these cards. Look, there's bubbles in the background. Can you see those? Let me zoom in a bit more. Can you see the little bubbles on the background? So there is a stamp. I thought it was one bigger stamp, but you've got two sets of bubbles here. I'm going to zoom out again. Whoa, that's too far. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount them. Oh, this is an easy stamp to lose. I'm going to mount these together on a little block here and, stamp them at the same time. So this one has 3 little bubbles. So one has 3 bubbles and one has 2 bubbles. Let's put that little bubble on the other side. Okay. So I'm going to use the Berry Burst to stamp my bubbles. Something happened to my cardstock. It looks like it got water on it. So bear with me. I need to straighten my cardstock out. Never ceases to amaze me that you cut the cardstock to the right size, score it in half, and it's still not really even. Just grab another one. It's still not very straight down here. So you know what? I'm going to trim it. Sometimes you can refold a card and other times you just cannot. Just a smidge came off. I don't like an uneven bottom. That's my part of my personality, the little persnickety. I'll tell you a funny story. I think you've heard part of this story before. When I was in grade school, early grade school, like I went to 2 elementary schools. So the first one was kindergarten, I think, to grade 3, and then we moved. Anyway, in my early days in this first school, I must have been a bad girl at some point, and my teacher caught me doing something I shouldn't have been doing. And so I had to stay after school. Of course, they have to call your parents in those days and say, we're keeping your kid after school. I'm putting a piece of paper under here just so that I don't get my grid mat all mucked up, because I want to stamp a little bit off. So let's put some bubbles here. And we'll put and I'm just rotating my stamp. Some bubbles there. Look how cute that is. And then there's some bubbles over here. Oh, that's so cute. You could cover the whole piece with bubbles. Anyway, so I just stay after school. And in those days, they used chalkboards. I don't think they use chalkboards much anymore. And we learned music. So they had this piece of wood. Some of you may remember this. They had a piece of wood with these metal prongs on them. I think 5. How many bars in a music thing? Is it 5 or 6? Anyway, so they had 5 or 6 prongs where you stuck the chalk in, and then you could just drag it across the blackboard and it made these lines. And then the teacher would do the notes in chalk. Anyway, so I had to stay after school and I had to write something like, I don't know, I must not talk in class or something like that, or I must not pull the fire drill, which that's another story. Anyway, and so I thought I was being really, really smart, and I put the chalk in this music thing, and I wrote on the blackboard, I wrote in the blackboard, I must not talk in class. And I got halfway through and my teacher came in and she saw that I was using this and she said, oh, so now you're a little cheater as well as a little chatterbox in class. So she made me erase it all and then I had to redo it. And when I had to do it on my own, using my own handwriting, if I didn't do a good job with the handwriting, I would erase it and do it again. And I had to fill 2 chalkboards filled with "I must not talk in class." And my persnicketyness made me take forever to get it done because I would erase my handwriting if it didn't look exactly like the handwriting in the line above it. Anyway, long story. That's the way I was. Okay, we've got our bubbles. And now I'm going to put our beautiful, look at this. Oh gosh, I just love, oh, wait a minute. We have to put our layers on. Oh my goodness. Okay, now you can do anything here, how you skew it. I want my bubbles peeking out, so I'm going to do one like that. I'm going to skew it quite a bit. And then I'm going to do one maybe like that. Okay, it's pretty well skewed there. The white might be too much skewed, but anyway, let's put this one on first. Let me get my tape runner. You know, when these tape runners were first introduced, they were just awful. I will admit they were awful. I think Stampin' Up knew they were awful, and I think they went back to the drawing board or back to the manufacturer and said, these are not working very well. You need to fix them. I'm pretty sure they fixed them because I love them now. They roll really nicely. And okay, this one I'm going to use Tombow on. So I don't know if some of you saw, but I went and got this My Sweet Petunia glue gun. And I've now refilled it with Tombow because I went through a whole bottle. And I absolutely love it. But in honest truth, I really like Tombow glue better than the glue that it came with, because Tombow gives you the ability to reposition way better. This other glue dries much faster, so you don't have time to move things around. So I still highly recommend Tombow, but you can just refill the bottle. And it has this really cool stand. Check this out. There's a little silicone mat down there. Can you see it? It's in pink at the bottom. And then I can put that in there. And I have left this for days without having to put the cap back on, which has a pin in it. And the cap just fits right there. I love it, love it, love it. It's changed my crafting for the better because it's always handy, always ready. I was using this kind of a thing, right? You have to take the pin out every time and you have to put the pin back in every time you use it because it starts to dry up and it won't come out. So this is, the glue gun is just faster if you want to kind of speed up your crafting. Okay, so I've glued this. I'm talking a lot tonight, aren't I, ladies? Okay, what have you been saying? I've been holding off getting this one, but it is on my list for sure. Oh yeah, this product's sweet. Yes. And what else are you saying? Makes the paper look so soft. Yes, the embossing folder does. That one does. The waves are kind of rounded. And the story of my life, nothing is ever straight. I know. Hey, I learned a cool tip today. No, yesterday. I was watching some videos and I learned a cool tip. You might know this tip, but on our stamp positioner, you know, sadly, we don't have the Stamparatus anymore, but we all have one. So you take the Stamparatus and you, so you take your, let's see if I can explain it to you. So you take your card base and you know how there's an edge on 2 sides of our Stamparatus. So you're going to put your card base securely situated in that corner with the edges. And then you take your other piece and you put it on top, and it just helps you to line it up a lot better. Can't remember who I saw that with, but okay. All right, so we're going to put this on now. Now, this is, again, the why I'm showing you this glue gun, because it is, it allows the glue to come out in such tiny bits Make sure they, oh, crap. I'm not watching what I'm doing though. You don't keep squeezing. Yeah, that was not good. You don't keep squeezing. Okay. So once it starts coming out, you can just tap. So I'm not squeezing at all right now. And once you see none coming out, you can give it a little squeeze again. So I love it for that as well. So I'm going to put this one on like that. And then I like to take a piece of paper and just put it on top, and then you can rub it into place. Okay. So on this card, it looks like there's two of these. So I'm going to put the second one on. Or maybe there's just the one. You know, now that I look at it, there's just the one. Yeah, there's just one. So I can save that for another card. But there are two of the larger kelp pieces. There's one that kind of sits like that. So let's put some glue on here. And then we're going to put another one over here. This is a really full bottle. I think it's coming out a little bit more than it normally does because I really filled it to the top. And I'm going to put this one like that. Fingers are all really sticky. Okay. And then we've got another tiny little one. I'm sure I saw a tiny little one. Let's just have a look at it again. Yeah, it's right there. It's just crisscrossing a little bit. Like that. Hey, Carol's just joined us. How are you? So, Carol, I don't know if you watched. I think you said you watched my Mojo Monday on Monday, and I showed everybody my mug that you were so kind enough to pick up when you were in New Orleans. Okay, so now we have our thank you, and of course, I'm going to put that on dimensionals. And I've got some of these here. Put that right smack in the middle. And take that off. And then I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to tuck, whoops, that's upside down. And then I'm going to tuck the, so this goes over into the bubbles a little bit. Okay, and this needs to be a little shorter. And I'm just going to grab some glue. And I'm going to tuck this underneath. Like so. And now I'm going to grab my tweezers. I'm going to start putting on, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue and put some of these on. Oh my gosh, these are so sweet. So I can tell that the Tombow glue, there was still a little bit of the other glue in that bottle, and I added the Tombow, and I can tell that it's, yeah, it's now using Tombow because it takes longer to dry than the other stuff, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Okay, this one is kind of tucked. I can tuck it somewhere. I'll just stick it more. I think this card is so sweet. And then I've got one more. How are we doing for time? I'm going to put one here. Okay, there's the card. Oh my gosh, what do you think? Don't you just love the colors? Okay, I want to do the inside of the card, and I had an idea. So I'm going to take a 4 by 5¼ inch piece of basic white. And I already, there's a stamp that has some of the kelp on here, and it's in pumpkin pie ink. So let me just grab that. So I'm going to carry through the same scene. So let's put a little bit of coral in here. And let me put my paper underneath it. I'm just going to stamp off the bottom a little bit. I've got 3 more sea stars to put on in here. So I think I'll just add a little bit more coral, whatever it is. Okay, and then let's put some little sea stars in here. One there, and one here. So I'm just dabbing a bit of glue. Now watch, there's a right and a wrong side to your dies. I'm going to put this one in. So I've got 3 little sea stars on here. So did any of you get the Otterly? Forget what the stamp set name is. The Otter one? Because you could use your otters with this set too. I'm just rubbing some glue off my fingers. Okay, we're ready to put this on the inside of our card now. Let me just grab my tape runner. I think this is a very, very sweet card. I'm just really thrilled with the colors. Okay, so that's what I've done on the inside. And then I'll do the same thing on the envelope. There's no stamp for the sea star, but you could put the sea stars on the envelope and hope they get through the mail. There you go. There is our card for tonight. I hope you liked that. I hope you'll give that set a thought. It's really kind of a fun one. And with these colors, don't forget, it's using a lot of the in colors, and we have ribbons. We have the 5 in color ribbons. So you could incorporate the ribbons on here. And don't forget, you've got these beautiful gems. We didn't use them on the card tonight, but they're used on some of the other cards in here. And I love every card on this design here. Even look at this simple card base, piece of kind of like roughed up. It's actually cardstock, and look, they've actually stamped on it. So I'm pretty sure the cardstock used in here is that double-sided cardstock that has 2 shades of the color. I need to look that up and maybe get some. I've got so much cardstock. Anyway, there you go. I'm really happy with that. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back on Monday for Mojo Monday, and I hope to see you then. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. Bye for now.